Hello. See if my microphone's even working. I haven't been on here in about 15.5 million years. I've been in a little bit of a rut, and I just decided to get on here no matter if I had something to talk about, didn't have something to talk about, had people here, didn't have people here, yada, yada, yada. So that's what I'm doing because I do miss talking and having discussions and, I mean, just be me. So that's what I'm going to do. I think it's been since like the Murdoch trial that I've been on here. And I got a little burnout from that. And then summer happened, kids happened, and then the writer's strike. Like, I really wanted to get into talking about TV shows and things that I like again. Like Black Mirror came back, and although I just wanted to be respectful to, the situation that, not that I'm of any influence to the industry, but just any type of promotion, I guess, was not helping the cause of people getting paid what they should. So I just wanted to respect that as much as I could. So then I'm like, I don't know what to talk about. I've just, again, I've been kind of, I don't know what you would call it other than I haven't had Adderall in like a year. I'm just going to make this my diary today. Hold on. I'm going to probably have to.
Like a year?
There we go. Mute myself. Hey, Christoph fan. Thank you. I miss you guys so much. I miss the camaraderie and chatting and everything. No problem if you can't stay. I understand. I just kind of did this. I don't know. I've almost made a video or gone live so many times, and I gotten in my head about something. So I haven't. And then again, without being able to talk about some of my interests, being movies, I was so excited for Black Mirror to come back. And then to tell you the truth, I think what's gotten most in my head is just feels like this past year, the amount of ways one can be seen and critiqued has amplified to me. I come on here mostly for connection. I do like myself. That's why I put my face out there. So whatever. But I understand there's going to be people who comment on who knows what. My appearance, the fact that I spit on myself sometimes, whatever. It just seems even easier for people to find people and just be relentless. And I'm very protective of myself, my family. I just want to get on here and have fun. I also have always been so paranoid about people that I know in real life. Like, I know what's going to happen. I know some people already know that I do this in the beginning stages. I try to get my friends and family to like participate, but they are old like I am and I don't think knew how. And I really kind of like the barrier that this channel has created for me to be myself, but not have to explain myself all the time with people around me, people that I know. I can have my opinions, like, and it doesn't affect my daily life. I sound like I'm doing something nefarious, but I'm not. I think it's the experience that we've had with, the whole Katie Joy community and all, not even necessarily her, but all the people that have come around with that, and learning how easily people will just go after people in real life. And what I mean by go after is just find people's houses and children, and just for simply not liking someone. Like, I don't even have to do anything, and hope I never would do anything to hurt someone or say something to hurt someone. It can be unwarranted, I guess is my point. And then I kinda hit around TikTok for a while, and I freaking love TikTok, but even seeing then how, just not even in our community, but just people all around are, going after folks, finding, "Oh, I can zoom in and look in your living room and see this, and I know where you go to school, and I know this, and da da da, so I'm gonna come after you." It makes me a little paranoid, to be honest. And then I have children now who are kind of starting to come of age on social media, and they don't have any. But I also struggle with that. My husband and I are very like, we don't want our kids on social media, but then we see mommy do stuff. I mean, they don't watch my stuff, but like, I'm like, okay, mommy's gonna go talk to her computer friends. And um, so I've just been in my head about being online. I think especially as well with everything regarding the Murdoch trial, because again, although I am like 3.5 hours away, South Carolina can be a small state, and I don't know. It's just a different place, and parents my children go to school with, I don't know. I know I'm a little bit of a different breed for people. Good morning, Nikki. Oh my gosh, I miss you so much. Hey, just saying hello, everyone. Um, I've just been so in my head, and then I get in my head about being in my head. Like, why do you think people would even be interested or care or to even be offended by what you say? I don't know. So I'm just getting on here and being even more awkward than um, is probably usual for me. I hope. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm not. I don't. Anyway, um, it's so nice to see all of you here. I've missed all of you. But yeah, people in South Carolina can be a little bit different. They're good people, but they have a way of I'm even paranoid in saying this. Oh, so is that what you think of us? Oh, so meh, 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 meh. But if you say or do something that they don't like, in my experience, it's been very, they kind of ice you out, ice your kids out, ice whatever. They kind of are like elephants and never forget. And it's just kind of that way. And as I've said before, I'm always afraid of it affecting my life, afraid of affecting um, my family members who own businesses and um, just all that kind of stuff. And see, now I'm paranoid for even saying that. Someone's gonna be like, "Oh, let me find out what it is." Oh, she had. Oh, by the way, my hair. Yeah, I don't know what to do with my face or my hair. It just is the way that it is. And that's another thing. Okay, let's just be completely. You are my diary. In the past like 2 years, it's like true once you hit 40. You know what I mean? A little past 40, but it's like my face, I think I need to get my thyroid checked. Like, have like I'm not overweight, but I just my face looks different and I don't like it. Okay. Hey, Stacy. Oh, yeah, YouTube is not for the faint of heart. Let me see. Oh yeah, let me see if I remember how to do all this. Put just sayings thing on there. Hello, hello. Aw, you guys are so sweet. I've even thought about like just going to not having my face on here at all. And I think sometimes I probably will not have my face on here. But I've noticed in my life that kind of getting to know me for a while and seeing my facial expressions, which sometimes are non existent, you get a better feeling for my sarcasm, and I'm a little less misunderstood that way. Um, but yeah, I've been in my head about a freaking lot of things. My appearance, the links that people will go to just spy on people and intrusive, and this is where this person lives, and this is where what brand of coffee they're drinking, or what I don't know. It's just all so strange to me, and it's strange to me, pardon me, how socially acceptable it's become. Um, and then what are kind of the lines and rules with that? We have some, but we don't have many. Um, I feel like mine are different than others, and they fluctuate because I do believe there are times where, yeah, if someone punched someone in the face or something horrible like hatred, racist, homophobic, whatever, things like that, to the degree where it is putting someone's life at risk, yeah, their job may want to know about that. But then at what point do we stop? Like, I feel like people are throwing stones and continue to throw stones. Some of them are well deserved, but like, okay, at what point? Like, are we harassing them for 10 years and generations to come? This is this is almost sounding exactly how I do not want to sound. Um, um, I'm not. Yeah, no. It's almost sounding like I'm sympathizing for some hateful white people, and I am absolutely not. I don't know how to word it in a way that makes my point without sounding like I'm kind of whistleblowing for something. And that's another thing. I'm all up in my head, man. I'm all up in my head. And this was my place to just kind of be myself. And I felt for a moment that by my own doing, by my own thoughts, like, haven't felt like I could. And at some point, I just have to, I don't know, almost force it to happen so I can just get over it. Stacy says, the majority of the people doing this never show their own face or name, which tells me that you aren't proud of your actions if you hide them. Yeah, true. I don't know if you can hear my stomach growling. I just started. I'm not hungry. I'm having breakfast right here. Coffee, the breakfast of champions. Do you mean the people who are being shitty people or the people who are going after shitty people don't show their faces? And then I feel like we're at a point, the whole pendulum swinging. Hey, Belinda. Oh, it's so good to see you. Oh, you have resting bitch face. Oh no, that was Nikki that said that. Just kidding. Sometimes I think I'm smiling and catch a look of my reflection. I'm definitely not smiling. Yeah. Yeah. And at times where I'm like the most emotional, people have told me that like I've been really flat. The people being shitty, they talk about people's looks and stuff while never showing their own. Yeah, true. True, 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 true. Um, so back to the pendulum. Holding people accountable. I feel like is very good. I feel like for a long time, society has had to accept things that um, we should not have had to accept, and the people being victimized by different types of ben have had to accept. So, but is there ever room for growth? Like, I am going to say the wrong thing. I'm going to say something offensive. I'm going to say something shitty. Some of my views don't necessarily, well, of course, my views don't align with everyone's. Everyone's views don't align with everyone's. And views change. Like, where is there a little safe, not safe, but where is room for growth? Have we lost the ability to see and give room for someone who you can tell is growing? Why do we always have to burn at the stake? And again, let me give you an example for context. My son is disabled. I think we all know that. I used to say the R word like it was going out of style. That was just an adjective. Instead of saying, oh, that's dumb, oh, that's whatever, say it all the freaking time. Wasn't really the example I was going for. So I guess that's an example of like giving space for me to grow. But another thing is when my son we didn't quite have his diagnosis yet, but we knew that he was going to have extra needs, extra care, whatever. There was like a meetup dinner thing for other parents who had children with extra medical needs. So I was there chatting with another parent, and we were talking about the school system and what different types of classes there were, what even an IEP was, all that fun stuff. And when I was starting to talk, I said, yeah, I don't know if my child will be in a normal class. And I was like, and I kind of, after I said normal, I kind of, because it's my own son, like, what am I saying? My son isn't normal. Um, and she was like, she was so kind to me. She just said, "I think the word you're looking for here is typical." And I was like, "Thank you." Like, I know normal didn't sound kind, but also it is different. So, like, what's the correct verbiage? Had she sat there and, like, "You're a horrible person, da 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 da," like, I probably would have got defensive and felt shitty and never grown from it. There's room for learning. I feel like you can tell from a person, hopefully, that's what I hope for myself, but I'm scared that I won't have that as well. For just room for growth and room for making mistakes and not like, oh, it's burner because I don't want to be burned. But to add to that, people who are shitty need to, let's not burn people. They need to be held very much accountable. There's shitty people and there's ignorance, and I do believe there's a difference in that. Now, shitty people can be ignorant and ignorant people can be shitty, but you know, I don't know. I don't know if am I talking about cancel culture? I guess. I feel like I hate using those terms because I feel like they've go right in there with like narrative and everything else. It's gotten ridiculous. Imagine if all of us were measured by something stupid we did or said as teenagers. Yes. Yes. And even now, I mean, my sense of humor sometimes is not for everyone. Like, I don't know. Mm. Can always come back to the Real Housewives. The new season of New York. Okay. Jenna Lyons is one of the people on there. If none of you watch, you're ridiculous. But I feel like my microphone hasn't been working this whole time, but obviously you guys have been able to hear me. Um, Another of her cast members, her name's Uba, was like, I feel like you're a different person because Jenna works in the fashion industry. You're a powerhouse, but here on TV, you are kind of um, like more demure. And she's like, "Yeah, because I'm not in an environment for me to be a powerhouse. Like, I'm with friends." Like, again, I feel like have we lost ability to understand that people are not one dimensional? That me, JC, here is different than me as mom. Is me, JC, here is different than me as a parent at my child's school, or so on and so forth. You know what I mean? That doesn't necessarily mean someone is hiding something or different or yeah, I've got shitty bar humor, whatever you want to call it, probably worse than I do on here. Um that doesn't mean I'm hiding who I truly am, but I would hope that if and let me say this. Have your own fucking opinion about me. If you think I'm a shitty person, you think I'm a shitty person. You think I need to be called out, fucking call me out. But I'm just saying, like, it surprises me how shocked people are at seeing someone in a different environment than they normally do. Like seeing a school teacher at Target, they might be talking about getting drunk later because they're not at school. Because they deal with kids all day and they need to drink as long as they don't have a problem with it. Okay? Okay. Yeah, I would be super, super freaking screwed. When I was a teenager, that's when AOL chat rooms came out. So I was an adult when MySpace came out. So Just Saying says there's no room for growth if there's no room for conversation, but conversation shut down when every istward is being hurled. Oh, gotcha. Simply because you have an opinion on your questions. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I am super, super problematic. I am. Yep. Mhm, mhm, mhm. Belinda is lovely. Everyone does so say so. Oh, okay. So, and I hate saying this. So we went to Disney World again, okay? Because we're bougie, whatever. Military discount is all I gotta say. My son freaking loves it, has a blast. We rode It's a Small World. It's been 25 plus years since I've ridden that ride. Um, had a little trauma from it because got stuck on that ride. If you don't know, they just play that song all throughout, sometimes in different languages, but this one was not. So one of my kids to experience it, but they had a place. I don't know if they lumped in a whole bunch of cultures together because it didn't seem like just Australia. Um, but I'm kind of ignorant to that and I don't know. But I did record a little snippet of it just to send you, Belinda. I haven't sent it yet. Um, yeah, it does feel like a 25-minute ride for sure. And when you get stuck on it in one place and they just keep singing it over and over and over, it probably was 30 seconds and it just felt like a freaking hour. It was not, it was not good. But they had like kangaroos and different stuff. And I even just let you know, Belinda, I think of you even when I'm not on here. Maybe it's unhealthy, but I recorded it. I'm like, I'm going to send this to my Australian friend, tell her, show her what Americans think of Australia. Where did I see something? I think the problem people have now is it's hard to forgive someone when it sounds like they owe Chat GPT an apology or pick up a ukulele. Absolutely. And I feel like that goes with what I was saying before of if someone's shitty, they're shitty. If just their character is shitty, if they are um doing harmful things to people or putting people in harmful situations continuously as an adult and being like, "Oh, you guys are just trying to cancel me," then that's ridiculous. And just really shitty towards ukuleles. Um, yeah, I very much think of you. Here I am talking about how people stalk people and stuff. I know nothing about you other than you're Belinda Paul. That's all I know. I've never Googled you. That's like discussions I used to have with like Erin, Claire, and I have had with Nikki. Like, remember, I guess when Erin's phone number got put out, her address or something like that? Guess what? I still don't know it. I didn't go click on it. I didn't go look. I don't know. And maybe that's me. Maybe that's an extreme way that I'm taking that sort of boundary, but I didn't have a need for it. I wasn't offered it, so I didn't go looking for it. But I am hypocritical because I will go look for other things, not necessarily um, with her, but I don't know. I don't really want to give you an example because I don't want it to be misconstrued, but I don't know what that is. Mm, we'll just use Murdoch's. That seems like a safe bet, right? You know, going and looking at how many generations have been solicitors. Yes, I understand that stuff is out there, but I also like followed a rabbit hole through that. I don't know. Whatever. I think I'm just gonna stop talking. Stacy says, I got a coworker that every afternoon says all aboard at the elevator. I'm constantly singing toxic gossip string because of her. That's amazing. Chat GPT is like AI's way of creating things. Like I could use Chat GPT to put in a few topics or keywords and say, hey, write me an article about Benjamin Franklin first creating his first almanac, Poor Richard's, and it would just magically do it for me. Yes, what Stacy says. The AI tool that will write you whole movie scripts and stuff. Everyone is using it now. And that's something I've been paranoid about too, having my face up here. Like, what is stopping us from, which I'm sure it's nothing, of someone taking my face, my voice, and telling my children, Mommy said you could have a whole bunch of candy before bed. You know what I'm saying? Um, of course, giving a very benign example, but I've just been in my head, man. I've just been in my head. And sometimes it's a really awesome place to be. And sometimes I just want to escape my brain. Not in a dark way. I just like, can I just stop thinking for just, can I have a pause thinking break? That's what sleep is for. So I just sleep. Oh, about the Murdoch family? Yeah, it's spelled really weird. Murdaughh. Those deep fakes look so real too. Yeah, I think it was funny when you could obviously tell something was AI. And of course, a lot of things you still can, but some things, it seems a little too accurate. So the way I'm kind of thinking about it is, oh, well, it's already kind of done. A lot of us are in the same boat. I guess someone wants to make something to tell my kids they can stay up past their bedtime. That's what it'll be. But yeah, in regard to the Murdoch, so the clerk of court that is under question, I was not interested in her book before, but if none of you know, she wrote a book and like self-published it, and I guess it came out a few, maybe like 2 months after the trial ended, something. It was this summer. And I always thought that was in very poor taste. Anyhow, it's a clerk under question whether or not there was jury tampering with her. Um, she had and was canceled a author appearance, whatever, at a library the next town over from mine, and it was supposed to happen like 2 weekends ago, I think. And I'm like, oh I'm gonna go because yeah, I think I'll watch this shit show. And her attorney canceled it. As well he should. Well, I don't know if he canceled it, but I think it is rumored that he heavily suggested this probably isn't a good idea. And I believe she's in the newest season of on Netflix about the Murdochs. That was all just I did watch it. It did take me a while to watch. Because now I just feel like there's so much chatter and it pisses me off. And the whole thing in regard to if she did say anything to the jury, I hope she didn't. But if anything, even was even implied, like, oh, I know you guys aren't going to take a long time, or this should be quick, or whatever, it makes me so mad for so many reasons. Um, I think of all the money, all the time, all the people's lives who were affected. When this was announced, I think I was a week or 2 just coming off from being a juror on I was an alternate, so I didn't get to deliberate, but I was there the entire time right up until, "All right, let's go decide this." So, and where I was a juror, it was a short trial. It was like 3 or 4 days. So, just thinking of the emotional burden of having to hear things, of rearranging childcare, because again, it was during the summer, my kids weren't in school, just everything, everyone's lives being put on hold, and they were put on hold for 6 weeks for an international trial for their lives are forever going to be affected. This again, this areas can get very I would have been very afraid if not like afraid for my life, but just afraid like my physical life. But again, people have a way of, in my experience, in my opinion, for educational purposes only, of really ostracizing people and affecting people's lives around here if they disagree with something. So, yes, I am allowed to talk about the trial. Um, Canada's a dangerous place, also. I am allowed to talk about the trial. I don't mind answering certain questions, like either in Discord voice chat um, about specifics of the case, or like through messaging. I don't want to talk about. I don't mind publicly talking about my experience as a juror, but I don't want to talk about the details of the case on here. Um, to respect family members and my own safety, I guess. Um, but yeah, I don't mind answering questions about details of the trial, but not on live stream. But if you have any questions, you can ask me in messages, or it's been a while since all of us have gotten on and kind of chatted on Discord, or at least for me. Act like you guys' lives revolve around me. I haven't been on in a while, so you guys have probably been chatting and everything like that otherwise, but I haven't. So I'd like to catch up with people. I think that's one reason too. I need to give myself some credit. That was another reason why I wasn't on here. I kind of forgot about that, if you can believe it. Um, like, oh my gosh, what if someone finds me on here? Would I want to do it again? Um, yes, it was super interesting. I really think everyone should. I know we're all it's all of our civic duty. I think it's important for all of us to see what happens. Um, I would do it again. I don't think I would ever have the same experience that I did this time. And what I mean by that is, well, I'll get into that in a second. I hate the reason that I was there. I hated seeing family members get upset, having to retell stories. Um, hated all of that. Wish that wasn't the reason that we were there. The unique experience that myself and the other alternate juror got was the time of day where they went to deliberate, when they went to deliberate was after business hours technically. I think the whole thing ended like around 5:30, and it wasn't a super high profile case or anything like that. So, um we're pretty sure they were going to come out with a quick enough verdict, and I wanted to stay. I mean, you go through all of that and then you don't have a say or a voice in anything. It was a little strange, and it's a little it was a little traumatic. So the other alternate and I, we had a chance to sit in the courtroom and kind of talk about things with each other. And the family members and everything like that were outside of the courtroom. So the bailiffs and everything sat with us, which bailiffs are freaking cool. I don't know if everywhere, but ours were freaking awesome. They're like older, retired dudes that, and once we were able to talk about everything, once the judge dismissed me and the other alternate, and we kind of walked through a different area to come back to the courtroom, he was like, okay, so what do you think? Like, very um wanting to talk about all the details because again, you're hearing all of this stuff. You're hearing interesting, also shitty things, and you just want to be able to talk to somebody about it who understands. Um, so I was a little surprised by the bailiff's um, enthusiasm to discuss with us. Then, not only that, the defense and prosecution, when both me and the alternate came in there, and the judge told both of us, hey, um, would you like, we were permitted to talk. We didn't have to if we wanted to. If we didn't want to and people persisted, we were to come to him and get his help with people leaving us alone. Um so when we did sit back in the courthouse, and again, it was probably around 6:30, something like that, around end of day, start of dinner time, everything like that. The only people in the courtroom while we were waiting for the verdict were all the other attorneys. The judge wasn't there. A lot of the bailiffs. There were a lot of students that were present for this trial because, again, it wasn't a high profile case, thank God. Um, so a lot of what do you call? I'm thinking of doctors and like residents or whatever. I don't know what you call like a attorney that's in school, not yet an attorney. But those people, they were there. We were able to chat with them, but when the defense and the attorneys from the solicitor's office saw myself and the other alternate there, they both kind of turned around and were like, and they both kind of slowly came up to us and like, so do you guys want to discuss things? And we're like, yeah. So we got to talk about so many things. And one thing that I was interested in is, why did you pick me? And I got a lot of those questions answered, which I will answer them in, again, messages in Discord. But, I love human behavior and psychology. So I'm like, what about me made you pick me? Um, and I feel like it was a mutually beneficial. Oh my gosh, drink some coffee. A mutually beneficial discussion, and that we all got to kind of discuss the thing that we were either going through or had gone through. And then we got a lot more details about things that they couldn't bring up during the trial. Um, and we got more of a full picture. Um, and then it took a lot longer than we expected. So then one of the officers there was like, well, you guys want a tour of the courthouse? So we're like, yes. So we got to see the holding cell. Maybe I shouldn't say all this. We got a tour of the courthouse. I'll let that be because I don't want to get anybody in trouble. It was cool. It was interesting. And the the experience that we got after, well, while they were deliberating, I guess, was one that I'm not sure would ever occur again. So that was really, really interesting, and enlightening. And I think they appreciated it and we appreciated it too. Because again, we got to kind of vent a little bit, and then they had a deeper understanding and probably could help both of them more in the future. And I got all the psychology things out of it that I wanted. So, but again, really shitty circumstance. And it's really weird to just be walking down a hallway and then open a door and then, phoom, oh, you're on display. There's everybody in the audience, whatever you want to call it. There's everyone's staring at you walking in. Um, and then they just get right into a 911 call, and it's holy, no lubricant, no nothing. You're just raw dog in a murder trial. It's a little much. So, um, yeah. Was the jury's verdict the same you would have gone with? No. So I'm almost kind of grateful that I was not there to deliberate because I'm not sure. I don't know if it would have been a mistrial or what, because I probably would have stuck to my guns. And it was more because of a law more than me necessarily disagreeing with their verdict. The judge was very good in explaining, you're not here to judge the law. You're here to use the facts and evidence and witness stories and everything, or witness testimony, to come to the conclusion on whether or not this person is guilty or innocent. And according to the law. So according to the law, the verdict was not what I would have. Sorry if you hear my stomach. Is not what I would have voted. And there were it wasn't just one thing. There were a lot of charges. So um, yeah, yeah, raw dog. Very, very vulgar of me to say, but prove my point. No protection, just went right in there. And see, as I'm saying this, I'm like, am I talking about something? Is an expression that I've used that I'm like, um, yeah, saying no consent. I don't, yeah, probably not something I'll say anymore because I'm realizing what I'm saying. Like I knew, but I'm not trying to make light of what I'm talking about. However, I think I am, and I'm not meaning to. So, my worst fears have come true. I've canceled myself. But anyway, well, I am going to get off here. I'm so glad that you guys were here. Thank you so much. And I don't know. I'm just going to not think so hard and I'm just going to get on here and do whatever. And it is what it is and it will be what it will be and I will do what I do. Like say raw dog when I probably shouldn't. So, all right, thank you guys. I hope you all have a really good day. It was so good chatting. Thank you for listening.